Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and today I wanted to talk about my ever-lovely Nintendo Switch and the hacks that it is receiving, the unblockable hacks that are occurring. I know there's been a lot of virus stuff on this channel recently. It's kind of a hell of a coincidence, but as you all know, I love me modding my video game systems, and I own a modded PS3, 360, 3DS, Vita, whatever you want to call it. I mod everything that I pretty much own, and in time I'll probably end up making a video of the modded 360s, PS2's, original Xbox, and sort of walk you through the fun of modifying your video game systems, because it is something that I'm genuinely interested in, and as much of a gamer I am, I love tinkering with the game systems that I buy. Now, the Nintendo Switch is one of my all-time sort of big tier portable systems that I'm loving right now. I have a lot of other ones that I do enjoy. I don't think it's up there with a hacked Vita yet, but I think with this hack, it's about to reach a point where it's going to be comparable to my hacked Vita. I'll make a video on the portable systems I love later too. But the Nintendo Switch, I made a video about it being hacked at one point, and the Nintendo Switch has always really gotten quote-unquote hacks, so to speak. If you all don't remember, a long time ago, there was a way to play NES Golf that was embedded within the system's firmware. I made a video talking about a web page hack that people have given it, a WebKit hack that existed on the iPhone levels that they had managed to get running on the Nintendo Switch, and that was nothing massive, but this was a way to sort of show what kind of security that the system was generally running. Now, this hack I wanted to make a video on because this hack is a hack that is up there with the ARM9 loader hack from the 3DS. For those of you who don't know what that hack is, basically you can modify a 3DS so that no matter how many times Nintendo pushes a software system update, you can keep your hacked 3DS. For example, I have a hacked 3DS myself, and every time Nintendo sends out a firmware patch, my 3DS still remains hacked, so I can back up all of my 3DS cartridges to the system's SD card and play them digitally wherever I go. It's a pretty sweet thing to have, alongside with the fact that you can have homebrew running. If only the new 3DS was as fucking easy to use with system management and file management as the older ones were, that would be a different story. But the Nintendo Switch is basically coming full force with an unblockable hack. Now, how does this hack necessarily work? For those of you who don't know, the Nintendo Switch is essentially an NVIDIA shield. If a little tech-savvy people out there probably know that the Nintendo Switch basically is powered by the Tegra K1 or X1 chipset. I think it's the K1. But basically, the NVIDIA Tegra chipset is essentially that. It's just an NVIDIA Tegra on it. As far as I know, there's actually nothing that separates it from being specifically more exclusive towards Nintendo. It is just an NVIDIA Tegra chipset powering the Nintendo Switch. Now, at the time of manufacturing the device, at the time of creating the Nintendo Switch in these facilities when it was sent out for its initial wave of deliveries, and up until very recently, these systems came fully loaded with a patch these systems rather, the hardware itself came with a boot ROM exploit that was never really patched up at all. Now, of course, ever since this news broke out, it's pretty much easy to assume that the next Nintendo Switches that are going to come out are going to be revised. They're not going to have this issue, but Switches now, the ones that you and I own, or if we've owned our Switch for a fair bit up until recently, this basically implies that our Switches are hackable. Now, the team Fail Overflow, the guys that I really follow who are making a lot of interesting hacks right now, more notably the PS4 kernel hack, Ado, these guys have basically showcased a tool that uses no soldering, no opening up of your Nintendo Switch. It's very easy, plug and play nearly, like the days of the fucking PSP JIT-Kick battery. That shit, the Pandora battery days of hacking your Nintendo Switch. Now, there are easier ways where literally you're using a fucking cable. So yes, hacking the Nintendo Switch has gotten pretty easy. People are already putting Linux on these devices and loading on the Dolphin emulator to play GameCube and Wii games, which is a pretty big deal. Now, one thing that I have to state is I do not support piracy on these devices at all. And in fact, they could be used as an excuse for big game publishers to not release their games on this device in the future. I do wholly support the Nintendo Switch getting a lot of games from both first and third parties, and piracy I think may just be used as an excuse and a genuine concern when releasing games on these devices. But let's be fucking honest here, people. The Nintendo Switch has sort of just been a couple of games machines. Okay, for a tablet, it's pretty fucking lackluster. The fact that it can't play videos, the fact that you can't browse the internet is a slap to the face. The fact that you can't even back up your own save files is a giant cunt punch. Okay, I don't understand how the fuck this is supposed to even be a thing. In the year 2018, to back up a save file, whether it just be to the cloud, is beyond fucking me, ladies and gentlemen. Even systems that don't let you modify your save files on a local basis, like the Xbox One, still give you a way to back that shit up to the fucking cloud above. Nintendo Switch doesn't even provide that, motherfucker. It doesn't even give you that option. So with these modifications to the system's firmware, with these hacks coming out, at least we'll be able to get far more functionality. And I think that's what the Nintendo Switch needs. I think the Nintendo Switch needs some form of a homebrew channel or something to entice people with the fact that it has more value added to it. Now, of course, could this hack end up getting you banned? Probably. So go with it. In fact, you can't even really hack it right now. These are still proof of concepts being delivered, but in the very near future, you'll be getting proper homebrew channels. So strip kitties are very unwelcome to this kind of stuff. But the point being stated is right now the Switch, in my opinion, is sort of just stagnating in a place where I'm really just playing a couple of games on it. But if this thing had a lot more potential, fuck, if I could get my SNES games running on this, if I could get my goddamn PS1 games, my GameCube games, my Wii games emulated on this bad boy, I'd be having a great time because the system and the processor that powers it is very capable of pulling this off. Go Google up some videos of Wind Waker or Twilight Princess running on the NVIDIA Shield through the Dolphin emulator, and you'd be pretty fucking surprised. Phones nowadays, Android phones, high-end stuff, are running this stuff with relative ease, so something with the power of a Switch should be able to handle it no problem. I'd be down for the days of playing Super Smash Melee just on the emulated front of my Switch, but until that comes, you know, we're going to have to see how Nintendo handles it. Are they going to release new hardware, which they basically have to, because no matter how many system updates you're going to push Nintendo, it's not going to fix this clusterfuck of a security issue. I don't know what's going on with NVIDIA and Nintendo, but apparently a hack like this is a blessing from the gods, ladies and gentlemen. Early in the lifespan, to get a homebrew or proof of concepts this early is pretty staggering indeed. Now, of course, again, do I support piracy? Fuck no. But do I support the homebrew and the emulation front and the ability for us to actually, I don't know, browse the fucking internet and back up key artifacts on our device? Is that a pretty necessary thing? Fuck yes. And if Nintendo isn't going to provide that, at least we as a community can. So, booyah to the fucking Switch getting some form of a hack, an unblockable hack, this early in its span. And for better or for worse, I want to see how this thing progresses through. I think the Switch has a lot of utility that isn't being used right now, and I think this might open up the floodgates to it. So let me know what you think about the hacks in general. Again, be open to it. Don't just look at the negative sides of it. Look at the positive sides of actually allowing homebrew on such a interesting portable device. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you like this idea, please let me know. If you dislike it, let me know as well. This is me, Mutahar, and I am out.